Today I'm going to talk to you about what home means to me. When I was younger, I remember being asked, where are you from, where's your home, and all those sort of questions, so much. And I never really knew how to respond. It actually felt like a test to me, testing to see what my answer would be, testing to see how smart I was. So one day, I got fed up, went to my mum, and asked her what an appropriate reply was. Her answer did nothing but confuse me further. She said that I was born in Sharjah, and that I've grown up in the UAE my entire life, but I have a British passport. My father was born in Edinburgh, and my mother was born and brought up in Kenya, along with the rest of her side of the family. But I'm technically of Indian origin. So what was a 5-year-old supposed to make of that? Even though living in the UAE has added to the confusion of my identity, I'm still so grateful for living here, just because of the fact that it has opened my eyes to so many different cultures and things which I wouldn't have been exposed to as greatly living in India or Africa or even Britain. I cannot imagine growing up in any of these countries and still be the person that I am today. The UAE has definitely helped shape me into the person standing here in front of you, and for that I am so thankful. I've only actually lived in Dubai for about 2 years now. Before that, I was living in a house in Sharjah. Don't get me wrong, the house was amazing, it had a pool and everything, but because I was going to school in Dubai, I had to wake up at 5 in the morning just to catch the bus to school. I think this made me begrudge living there, and because of this, I couldn't call it my home, because I didn't want to live there. We ended up living in a house in Sharjah during the weekend, and an apartment in Dubai during the school week, making my life so hectic. Thankfully, we now live in a house in Dubai, but because of all these changes, a house, a structure, cannot be my home. For me, I have no emotional attachment to a house, making it just that, a house. Along with all these changes in terms of housing, when I was 5.5, I had a stroke. No one really knows why it happened, but basically there's a blood clot here. So this part of my brain has been deprived of oxygen, making it pretty much dead. And because of this, it's made it hard for my brain to signal what to do for the left side of my body. And I've had to face so much change because of this. 6 physiotherapists, over 20 different courses of action, countless doctors, and 11 surgical cuts in the last 3 years. This continuous rapid change, along with living here in the UAE of all places, has just further confused me in terms of my life. I think everyone faces change, and everyone has a different perception of what home is, making the question of home very personal and not something that can be answered with one universal definition. For me, what I yearn for, what I need, is something that stays the same, and I think that's why I gravitate towards the one thing in my life which hasn't changed, and which is why I consider it my home. I've made some pretty amazing friends, and hopefully some of them will be there with me for life. These friends have, in a way, become a part of my family, and it is these people, my adopted family, who know me the most, who know who I am, and who know what I've been through, along with my biological family, who've been there for me throughout everything, who I consider my home. These people, my family, and my friends, are what make up my home. One thing I really worry about in the future is having to go away to university and meeting new people. I love meeting new people, that's not a problem for me. But I hate having to explain what has happened to me in my life to every single person. Whenever I move school, whenever I meet a new teacher, I always dread having to explain myself, having to explain my story, my stroke. I think that's why part of me reaches out to hold on to those I know already, and who already know me, and who know what I've been through, or who have been there throughout that entire experience. Which is why I consider them my home. For me, they are where I feel most comfortable, and where I feel accepted. So, home, to me, isn't a country, it's not a place, or a structure. For me, home is family. Thank you.